There's always that one guy. He isn't chasing anyone. He isn't trying to impress. He's just there, calm, unbothered. And somehow, every girl notices him. You can see it in their eyes, the way they lean in, the way their laughter softens, the way their attention locks on him. Meanwhile, other men are exhausting themselves for scraps of interest and getting nothing. What makes him different? Why does he become every girl's crush while others fade into the background? It's not money. It's not looks. It's not luck. It's a few secret traits most men never develop, and I'm not gonna gatekeep them. In this video, I'll show you exactly what they are, all 5 of them. Let's begin. Picture this. A man walks into a room. He's not the tallest. He's not the loudest. He doesn't even say much. But somehow, he changes the atmosphere without lifting a finger. People notice him, and the women, they feel it instantly. Why? Because he's not desperate for their attention. Here's the brutal truth. Most men live in a state of hidden desperation. You can see it in the way they glance around, hoping for validation. You can hear it in the way they laugh too hard at jokes or explain themselves too much when silence would have said more. Every move screams, "Please notice me." Women pick up on that instantly. They can smell neediness before you even open your mouth. And once they sense it, attraction dies. Now think about the opposite. The man who walks in with no hidden agenda. He's not chasing, not angling, not hoping. He already feels complete. He's comfortable in his own skin, whether people notice him or not. That's nonchalance, and it's magnetic. It works because women are drawn to men who don't need them. Desire isn't created by effort, it's created by absence. When you don't rush to fill every silence, when you don't react to every flicker of attention, when you carry yourself as if you have nothing to prove, you create mystery. And mystery pulls harder than words ever could. Think about it like this. 2 men are at a table. One is cracking joke after joke, trying to be the life of the party. The other sits back, relaxed, adding only a few words when he feels like it. Which one do you think the girls are secretly drawn to? It's almost always the second one. Not because he's more entertaining, but because he's more in control of himself. Nonchalance tells a silent story. I am not here for approval. I am not moved by every glance. I know my worth, with or without you. And here's where it gets even deeper. When a woman sees a man who doesn't bend himself to gain her interest, she starts to lean in. She wonders, why isn't he chasing me? What makes him so sure of himself? What does he have that the others don't? That question alone plants attraction in her mind before you've even said a word. This is why nonchalance is the first secret trait of the man every girl wants. It's not an act. It's not pretending to be cold or distant. It's a natural result of a man who doesn't crave validation. A man who doesn't orbit around women, but around his own world. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking attraction comes from showing off. Loud jokes, bragging about money, flexing cars or watches. It looks impressive for 5 minutes, but it never lasts. Because here's the truth. Women aren't pulled in by performance, they're pulled in by depth. Think about it. Anyone can fake a show. You can rent a car, you can wear flashy clothes, you can act confident for a night. But depth? That can't be faked. Depth shows in the way you think, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you don't need attention just to feel important. Women are experts at spotting the difference. A guy who's constantly trying to prove himself feels shallow. He's chasing reactions. He's only interesting if people are looking at him. But the man who has layers, who has his own world, his own focus, his own interests. He feels real. That's what pulls women in. Here's an example. Two guys walk into the same room. One is loud, telling stories about how great his life is. The other is relaxed, listening more than he talks. But when he does speak, it's thoughtful. Guess which guy women ask about later? The second one, not because he said more, but because he left them curious. Curiosity is powerful. It makes people want to know you instead of you forcing yourself on them. This is why depth beats display every time. Depth doesn't mean you have to be mysterious on purpose. It means you actually have things going on in your life that matter to you. Maybe you're building something. Maybe you're learning, creating, improving yourself. When you live that way, you don't need to brag. It comes through naturally in the way you talk and carry yourself. Here's the psychological switch most men miss. Women don't want a man who's available to everyone, throwing his personality around for approval. They want the man who feels like he has a private world they can step into if they earn it. That's depth. And when you have it, you don't need to beg for attention. People are drawn to you automatically. Now here's the trap. Many men overshare because they're scared of being overlooked. They think if they don't talk about themselves constantly, they'll be forgotten. But it's the opposite. Oversharing makes you predictable. Leaving space makes you intriguing. Remember, surface-level men are everywhere. Depth is rare, and rare is attractive. If there's one thing that keeps women hooked, it's mystery. Not games, not manipulation. Just the simple fact that when everything isn't revealed, curiosity takes over. And curiosity is the strongest fuel for attraction. Most men destroy mystery instantly. They meet a girl and within minutes they've told her their entire life story. They overshare to prove they're interesting, hoping she'll be impressed. But the opposite happens. The more predictable you become, the faster she loses interest. Think about it like a movie trailer. If the trailer shows every plot twist, do you still want to see the film? Of course not. The same is true with people. If she knows everything about you in the first hour, there's no reason to stick around. Now picture the opposite. A man who reveals things slowly, naturally. He doesn't rush to explain himself. He answers questions, but he doesn't dump everything at once. He leaves small gaps that make her think, what else is there? That question is what keeps her invested. Here's the key. Mystery doesn't mean acting fake or playing hard to get. It means not laying your entire life on the table at once. It means letting her discover you piece by piece through time and experience. The less you reveal up front, the more she leans in. Women aren't attracted to what they fully understand. They're attracted to what they can't quite figure out. That tension, the space between what she sees and what she wants to know, creates desire. Let's be clear. This isn't about being secretive in a weird way. It's about pacing. If she asks about your goals, you don't need to give a 10-minute monologue. You give just enough. If she asks about your past, you don't unload your whole history. You share what's relevant, then move on. Each time you leave some things unsaid, you give her a reason to come back. Here's what happens when you live with mystery. She invests. She starts asking more questions. She starts paying closer attention. She imagines what you're like when you are not around. And the more she imagines, the more attached she becomes. This is why mystery is such a powerful trait. It creates a chase without you lifting a finger. You're not chasing her. Her mind is chasing you. Most men think women want all the answers right away. The truth is, women want the experience of figuring you out. And if you deny them that experience by giving everything away too soon, they lose interest. If there's one thing that separates average men from the man every girl wants, it's this: emotional control. Most men don't realize how quickly they give themselves away. A woman tests them with a teasing comment, and they get defensive. She takes a little longer to reply, and they panic. She acts distant for a day, and they start over-explaining or begging for reassurance. All of that kills attraction instantly. Why? Because women don't just look at what you say. They look at how you react. Your reactions tell them everything about your strength. The man with no control is predictable. He rises and falls with her mood. If she's sweet, he's confident. If she's cold, he's insecure. That's not attractive. It's exhausting. No woman wants to feel like she's controlling a man's emotions like a remote. Now look at the opposite. A man who stays centered no matter what. She pulls away. He doesn't chase. She teases. He laughs it off. She tests him, and he doesn't flinch. That calm response tells her something powerful. This man is stable. He won't break when life gets hard. He won't collapse under pressure. That's the kind of man women want. Not because he's cold, but because he's strong. Here's the secret. Women don't test men just to be difficult. They do it because they want to feel a man's strength. They want to know if you can handle them, and by extension, if you can handle the world. If you get emotional over small things, you signal weakness. If you stay composed, you signal strength. This doesn't mean you hide your feelings or act robotic. It means you don't let temporary emotions control your actions. You can be passionate, you can be fun, you can even be vulnerable, but you never spiral into neediness or chaos. Think about a storm. Most men are like paper boats in the water, tossed around by every wave. The man every girl wants is like a rock. The waves hit him, but he stays steady. That steadiness creates safety, and safety creates attraction. Women want to feel like they can lean on you, not like they have to manage you. And when you show emotional control, you send that message without saying a word. Here's a practical example. A woman cancels plans last minute. Most men get angry, send long texts, or start an argument. The man with control, he shrugs it off, uses his time for himself, and keeps moving. He doesn't give the situation more energy than it deserves. That's attractive, not because he's ignoring her, but because he's not controlled by disappointment. Emotional control makes you stand out, because so few men have it. In a world where everyone reacts instantly, the man who stays calm looks rare, and rare is valuable. Now, this brings us to the final secret trait, the one that ties everything together: the silent dominance. The aura women feel before you even speak. Before a man even speaks, women can feel something about him. Call it energy, call it presence, call it an aura. It's that invisible weight he carries into a room. And here's the secret. The man every girl wants has it. You've probably seen it before. A guy walks in, doesn't say a word, and somehow people glance at him. He's not doing anything flashy, but his body language, his calmness, the way he carries himself, it all signals strength. That's silent dominance. Now here's where most men go wrong. They think dominance is about being loud, aggressive, or controlling. It's not. Real dominance is quiet. It's not in forcing others to notice you. It's in people noticing without you trying. Silent dominance comes from alignment. When your words, your posture, your actions all line up with the same message. I don't need to prove myself. You sit comfortably. You don't fidget. You don't rush to fill silence. You move with certainty instead of hesitation. These small cues build an aura that people, especially women, pick up instantly. And here's why it matters. Women don't just look at you. They feel you. If your presence radiates insecurity, they'll feel it. If it radiates calm confidence, they'll feel that too. Silent dominance is the difference between being overlooked and being unforgettable. Think about the last time you saw someone truly confident. It wasn't in what they said. It was in how they carried themselves when they weren't talking. That's what lingers in people's minds. So how do you build it? It starts with self-respect. When you respect your time, your values, your boundaries, it shows. You don't chase people who pull away. You don't shrink when challenged. You don't need approval to feel important. That inner discipline shapes your outer presence. And here's the paradox. Women are most drawn to the men who aren't trying to draw them in. Silent dominance works because it flips the script. Instead of reaching for attention, you become the kind of man attention naturally gravitates toward. Picture two guys at a table. One is leaning forward, cracking jokes, trying to keep everyone engaged. The other is leaned back, relaxed, listening, speaking only when he has something worth saying. Which one creates the stronger impression? Almost always the second. His restraint signals control. His calmness signals strength. That's the man women remember when they leave. Silent dominance is the final layer that ties everything together. Nonchalance shows you don't chase. Depth shows you have a world of your own. Mystery keeps her curious. Emotional control proves your strength. And all of it radiates in your aura without you having to explain it. That's why the man every girl wants doesn't need tricks or lines. His presence alone speaks louder than words. So here's the truth. The man every girl wants isn't chasing, performing, or begging for attention. He's the one who carries himself with presence, calm, controlled, and untouchable. It's not about looks, money, or status alone. Those can help, sure, but they're not the core. The core is your presence. It's about traits most men ignore: nonchalance, depth, mystery, emotional control, and silent dominance. Those 5 make her lean in, imagine, and crave without you even trying. When you live this way, the game flips. Suddenly, you're not wondering if she likes you. She's wondering how to get closer to you. That's the shift. That's the difference. But let me warn you, this isn't something you fake. You can't just pretend to be mysterious or try to act dominant. That's when it falls apart. These traits only hold weight when they're built on the foundation of discipline, self-respect, and purpose. You don't play the role, you become it. And when they do, you stop chasing every girl. You become the man every girl chases.